gentlemen, let's now move on to the next knowledge insight for today, which is titled as Resource Management, Managing Profitability, Growth, and Satisfaction. So, to present this session, this talk, we have with us Mr. Sandeep Kumar, founder and CEO at ProductDossier. He has 27 years of prolific experience in building, selling, and marketing enterprise software solutions. His areas of experience includes business transformation, process automation, quote to cash, new product development, professional services, engineering and manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, technology enablement. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Sandeep Kumar, founder and CEO, ProductDossier. So, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning. Have you ever kind of thought about it? Each one of us, since the time we were aware, we have been juggling different roles, trying to make the best of everything. For example, we have to take care of our families, so whatever we do, we want to make sure that it impacts our families in a positive manner. Then, like our first speaker, she was talking about nation building. So we are the citizen of this country and we have certain responsibilities. So by and large, we want to make sure that our actions, create a positive impact on our country. And, then our own selves. We want to be healthy, wealthy if possible, and everything. So all this time, we are trying to make sure that our actions and our thought process, more importantly, is such that it creates a positive impact. And, and all these three things we are trying to juggle, we are able to do our best, right? So today, what I'm going to speak about is, while she said resource management, but personally, I think we should change this word resource because we are talking about people, we are talking about human beings. So I just kind of changed the word people management. And when we think of people, right, and in the context of corporates, what we are trying to do, these people, they have a responsibility. And if you look at this triangle, there are three really key things. One is the organization, another one is the customer, and the employee, the person or people themselves, right? So whatever we do or however we manage this resource management, we have to make sure that these three, which are the key constituencies, and because of which we are managing or we are having so much discussions and innovations, that how do we basically what we do with our people so we get the best of for all these three. Now to do that, to even go one step further and say, what can we do? I think it is important, and as very logical thing, that what is that each one of these things want, right? Only if we are aware of that, then only we'll be able to even deliberate on any possible solution. So if I move forward and I say, okay, let's talk about the organization, because we are talking all these things only because there is an organization. There are corporates, right? Otherwise, the whole debate of this, like our previous speaker, talent and people, there will be no such debates, right? So organization is very important. Now, what does the organization want? By and large, if you see, if I talk of pure business terms, they want that my profitability, whether it's by person or overall, that has to be optimized. That has to be better every year or whatever, but this is an important aspect. If this doesn't happen, then everything else will have a sort of a problem. So, they would want, I mean, I talk to a lot of IT sector. So there it's very important, they are tracking what is a person-wise profitability. Like if I have 1,000 resources, then whether each person is, each person or my each employee should be at least making 50% profit. I mean, that's the wish list. So I'm always trying to maximize that metric. So that is the first thing they want. What is next? The next thing here is, and this is not just true of IT companies, while I may be taking examples of IT, but pretty much it is applicable for any industry. Now the utilization. So whatever my employees, my people, I should utilize them to the maximum. So that, when they are utilized, obviously then only there will be revenue, profitability, everything. So this is another key objective of the organization. The third thing is, which is again becoming a very, very important, especially in today's time when there is so much, war for talent, that am I doing the right sort of forecasting, and then am I doing the right sort of planning? Because if I don't have the forecast of, what kind of people I would need and when I will need, I will not be able to do planning. So this is another, requirement of the organization, and I feel this process is completely broken. We are more reactive, that, when something comes up and then we say, okay, let me go and look at it. So this is another piece which organization is wanting, and they believe that if we have the right forecasting and then the right planning, our cost of hiring itself will go down drastically. Because today we are hiring in a reactive mode. So this is another aspect, and I'm just showing these pictures just to give you a sense. If you look at it, these bars, this is the capacity, the green one, and then the forecasting is the blue one. Now, if I see these kind of graphs ahead of time, then my HR or talent acquisition team has some chance of, fulfilling this is ahead of time. So that is another thing. Now this is, I don't know if all of you are familiar with this term, billing loss. This is again more in the IT world. What happens this is, when I have the order from the customer, I have the purchase orders, but I'm not able to execute because I don't have the people. So that means, I am basically incurring the billing loss. I'm not able to bill. So this is, and what organizations feel, that on one hand, in some projects, I don't have the resources, but on another hand, there may be, people who don't have any projects, or they are on the bench. So there is no visibility across these organizations. So what they want is, my utilization should be 100%, so I will not have minimal billing loss. And then the last thing is, again, they are very interested, and I think this is more and more now, that each one of our people are productive, and more importantly, their well-being, right? They should be happy souls at the end of the day, because if they are happy, they will continue to work for the organization. So this is about what the organization want, and these are only the highlights. There may be more things, but now let's come to the, again, very important, the employee herself. What does she want? So in my experience, and I'm working with people and myself, I feel most content at the end of the day when I feel that I have contributed. That particular day when I go home, I spend maybe another additional 15-20 minutes with our daughter. I'm very happy, and then she can also feel it that I'm happy. And this is my personal experience, and I have talked to many people, and they shared the same thing. Somebody even told me that I sleep very well the day I feel that I have contributed. I have been part of the big story. It's a very simple thing, right? So in fact, in our company, we have said that, our focus should be on making everybody feel good about themselves. And that is by make sure that they have contributed. Make sure we give them work, and in the beginning it may feel a lot of work, but the same people at the end of the day, they are very happy. So I think the feeling of accomplishment, this is one important factor, and all of us have to focus on. So, and that is what the employee wants. The second thing is, this is no brainer. Everybody wants, financial growth year after year, and if it can be monthly, it's even better. But definitely, this is no brainer, and we understand that. Today, the challenge is, even if you do the financial growth, our attrition levels are high, right? So we just cannot be just focusing on that. It's a combination. The third thing, and I think somebody in the previous slide I saw, varied learnings and all those things. So this is very important, the experiential learning. Today I have seen a lot of organizations, they say we have a L&D, and this is the budget, and they say you do this course, that course, take this certification, that certification. But does it help? I mean, because people don't have another choice, so they end up attending that and collecting certifications. But whose benefit is it? I don't think it benefits anything. What is important is that I go through the experiential learning. That is where I really learn. And how does that come? There is so much talk of job rotation policy in the organizations. But what is on the ground level, if you see, unless and until the employee says, I'm quitting, I don't like work, then only the HR sort of changes the job. So there is no proactive thinking on that. L&D means just send him to some 5-day training in a resort, he will feel good about it, but I don't think it adds significant value. So what employee wants is, if you look at it, this is the x-axis is the timeline every year. And if you look at it, he's working on different projects. He's working on different projects for different customers. And that's what employee likes. That's what person like. Because when you work in a different customer, different project, different set of people, there is so much learning going on. And in terms of, at the end of the day, employee also compare herself with her peers, which may be working in other organization. And then they exchange notes that what skill set you have developed, what skill set I have developed, what is my market value? I mean, these are all questions they do talk about it. And so we have to focus on, as a CHRO, if I were the CHRO, at least we do it in our organization, I would focus on and demonstrate to the employee, I will demonstrate that, look, how your career growth in terms of your experiential learning, in terms of your skill sets, that is important. What our focus is more on, now you are engineer, now you are senior engineer, now it's a time-bound sort of roles. But I feel that doesn't help at all. What is important in tomorrow's time, the number of years won't count. And especially with the technology, a fresher out of college can sometimes be better than a person having 10 years of experience, because the technology is getting obsolete very quickly. So the new people are well versed with the new things. So I think we have to, build some other skills. And the last thing, which is also very important, and I have seen it sometimes, is the fairness. Employee feels that, that company should be fair, not just to the employee, but the practices themselves. If they see that, this is not a fair practice, even if it is done to some other employee, they get a perception, and it's once you lose that kind of trust or perception, it's difficult to, bounce back. So I think these are the things employee wants. And now we come to the customer. What does customer want? Obviously, customer wants, the value creation. Very simple. At, what value are you creating for me vis-a-vis my mind share, my wallet share I'm doing with you? So this is again no brainer. And the second thing, again, customer is sort of always making experiences with you on what kind of mind share you are giving to the customer, what kind of competence the people have, the satisfaction level, the service level. So again, it's the people whom are dealing with the customer is making experiences. So I think with this, what we can say is that if we have to manage our people in such a way that we create a balance and the most optimized output for all of these three constituencies, which is organization, employee, and customer, right? So I think this is the problem we are trying to solve. And if we have to solve this problem, then how do we go about it? Let's now start thinking a little bit about this solution. What would we do about it? Would we, if I have to, find a solution like for a problem like this, I would first try to understand that, what are the touch points of the people or, our talent in my entire process. Like, for example, in a company, there is an opportunity to cash process, like companies like, it could be any company, for example, a Infosys or a Wipro, they will be getting a lot of opportunities, they'll be making proposals, then they win that, then they plan and execute the project, and then the project close. So this is a pretty typical process cycle which is running, and there are a lot of touch points. The next thing is, when we talk of people, it doesn't mean today that it just belongs to the HR department or the RMG department. I think the entire organization has to work together to make sure that our people management is optimized. So there is a, the delivery people, the financial people, the resource management people, then the sales people, pre-sales, all of these things are connected. And then there are different functions I spoke about. And then again, when we find the solution, first we have to have a solution in our mind that what will work. And then of course, we have to take help of technology or digitization to make it sustainable. So there are different systems today organizations have. ERPs are there, HRMS is there, PSA, and so many other systems. So all of them have to work in synchronization to make sure that our optimization is done. So now let us look at, I will run through one typical process flow. I'm not sure if how many will you have experience of something like this, but let's make it easy. So in a CRM, once the opportunity comes, then there is a CRM, there is a ERP, HRMS on the right-hand side. This is where we have to do a lot of people management. Now, when a new opportunity comes or a new initiative is thought about, now at that time, there is a forecasting of resources as to how many resources I would need and when I would need and what kind of people I would need. So that is where the forecasting should happen. This is really the first time forecasting is happen. And then, then I have the HRMS tool where I have the employee master, the skills, everything is there. And then when my opportunity or the idea is 75% crystallized, and if I can start planning, I will find if I have the resources in my own employee master, in my own organization, or I have to hire from outside or contracting or anything. So that's where, so the HR people or the RMG people, they have to start not when the order has come. They have to basically start 25% ahead of time so that my planning is there. Then this is once I get the opportunity, get the order, and this is where my, the project gets created, where actually it has got kicked off. Now this is linked with the ERP, but the most importantly, if you look at it, now I have to allocate resources. And this is where very, very critical, all the needs which I said, the utilization, the profitability, the employee career graph, all of these things we have to look at this point, that whom we are allocating to this project. So the criteria should be, if I allocate person X, will it be profitable for the kind of, cost this person has versus the benefit putting in this project? Will this person has been working on a particular project for the last 24 months? Is it time to change that job role? So all of those decisions should be done actually at this point. This is where the RMG is so important. And so this is not happening in isolation. Point I'm trying to say is that when we are doing this people management thing, we have to take a complete 360 degrees view and make sure that whatever our goals of managing people, they are actually executed at the right time. And then if you look at it, this is where the people actually start working. Now, when people start working, at this time, we have to measure their productivity because they are doing tasks, whether those tasks are done on time, not time, so that is there. And then, basically, it goes into financials. Now the finance person will start telling that how much the profitability this person has been this month. And once all those data is available with me, and then the annual performance appraisal comes, and that time our data has to speak that what have you performed, and your annual hikes or everything is based on that data. Now, what this will do to the system is the fairness, right? Most of the time, people are not so much concerned about their own hikes, but people have very angry that this person didn't do anything and he is getting the same hike, right? And that is where they start thinking, you do whatever in this organization, you are going to get the same money. But if our data can speak, that's where the trust starts building. That's where the employee is motivated to do more next year, because he or she knows what is the culture of this organization? How does the organization work? So all of those things which I spoke, we have to put it into the process, and we have to use technology to basically speak itself. So this is the kind of a solution, I'm not going to go into so much detail here, and the last is the customer. Now, if you can also show a portion of your, milestone achievements, everything to the customer, he will also get a lot of transparency, and the customer trust in you will increase significantly. We have seen it many times that customer wants to know how are you managing their projects, what people you have deployed, what is the productivity, all of those things. So there can be a sort of a customer portal where you are demonstrating limited information. So I'm going to move forward. This is I like it very much to talk about this. This is a little bit about, we saw the technical solution, right? How we identified the problem, then the solution. Now, to solve this kind of thing, organization has to build a culture. And my own experience, when I talk to people, leaders and everything, for the first couple of days, or first few hours, they are in denial that even the problem exists. And they say, no, we have everything, all the processes are in there. So that is the most difficult part. So I think we have to kind of build that awareness. Everybody should be aware that there is a problem. And for this, again, you have to take initiatives, you have to have some, meetings and debates about this. So that is very, very important. Second thing is, everything, it's about the purpose. How you tell people, you tell an engineer, look, your job is to fix the defects or this task, right? That is one way of looking. The same thing if you say, look, your job is to make this customer feels that, he is getting the best service. He is getting the best attention. Look at the difference. My whole perspective changes. And what I have done? Nothing. Instead of saying you focus on fixing bugs, I have said, you have to take care of this customer. And that means essentially the same thing, doing the task. But now the purpose is bigger. That person now starts thinking very differently. So I think this is very, very important. What is the purpose of what we are doing? And everybody should be made aware of that purpose. And third thing, we already saw, the solutioning and the technology. This is also very important. Most of the time, we think in isolation. We don't think about the big picture. We say, okay, I have bought now HRMS tool, it will solve all my problems. I have bought this tool, everything will be great from tomorrow. No, it will not work. You can buy the best HRMS tool, but still, if you have not thought about your own process, if the solution is not in your mind, it should be such that there is a blueprint in your mind before even spending $1. And this is possible. Because you know your organization, you have to kind of map it down and things like that. And then empowering. This is very, very important. The empowering piece. Today, while we expect that you will do this, you will do that, but we don't empower them. Imagine in IT world today, I am asked to make my project profitable. I have to make it 50% profitable. But organization is not even showing me the financial numbers. They are not even showing me, what is the revenue, what is the bill rate. I mean, all because they think, no, we should not show it to this person. Whereas I am spending 24/7 thinking about that project. So if you don't empower, if you don't make project manager as the CEO of the project, then he or she will not be able to do anything. So this is a very, very important thing. Just imagine if I have 100 project managers and I announce, look, I don't have 100 project managers, I have 100 CEOs. And whatever is happening in that, you have every information like a CEO. Just imagine the change it would bring in. I'm telling you, those people will do everything. I have experienced it myself. So it's about empowerment, and then empathy. The more I talk about it, the lesser it is. In this world where there is a lot of well-being, we are talking about all these things, but on ground the reality is still very different, right? We write on our walls, these are our value system, but when that moment comes where we have to actually practice our value systems, the result is not very encouraging. We don't do what is written. So I think, and empathy is one of those values we always have to demonstrate. And I am telling you, the ROI on that one value, if you demonstrate, is huge. We think it's our loss if if somebody is ill and we kind of pay him, or, we show basically humanity. I think that person is going to give you back so much that you can't even imagine. So we have to show empathy in whatever we are doing. And the last thing is the journey. Again, many leaders do this mistake. They say, I have bought the HRMS or this thing, now my job is done. I want results in 3 months and that's it. If you are not able to show, then for the next 5 years, I am going to tell you in every meeting, look, I spent money, you didn't do anything. No, that is not the way. It's a journey. It's a step-by-step progress we have to do on every day. Nothing worthwhile gets achieved unless and until you are persistent. So we all have to look at these initiatives, whatever we are doing in our organization. People management is just one example. Success is not going to happen overnight. It's a journey. And, we will keep learning. And that is what we have to think. So we will get all these, benefits. Our resource utilization will go up. There'll be, once you have a solution like this, most importantly, you will end up building the culture, the digital culture, which is going to create sustainable and exponential value. And so this is what the technology solutions do to you. I'm going to wrap up my talk, just talk a little bit about us. This is our company, ProductDossier. We are a technology company, but we are very focused on solutions for professional services automation, where we digitize this complete opportunity to cash process or idea to launch process. Basically, that professional services automation, we work with a lot of industries, including IT industry, pharmaceutical industry, and made-to-order sort of manufacturing industry. We are based out of Pune, and we have an office in United States. And we have several customers using our product, ProductDossier PSA, to digitize and automate, and definitely, the people management, the project management, project financials, all of these things are part of it, and they have been very, very successful. So with this, I think, thank you so much for listening to me.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Mr.
much.
Sandeep Kumar. Please do not go anywhere. Please be here with us. And I now have Ms. Vinita Hariharan here with me to felicitate Mr. Sandeep Kumar. Sandeep very well touched upon awareness, purpose, solution in technologies, empowerment, empathy, and journey. He gave us a beautiful picture of the data-driven approach in the modern world. Thank you so much for your talk, Sandeep.
Thank you.
And I would now request Ms. Hariharan to please do the honors.